So now let's talk about our writing and our reading settings. So first hover over to settings and click into writing. The first option is formatting, which converts your emoticons into graphics on display. So essentially what this means is if somebody types in a colon, dash, and a parentheses, it would turn that into a smiley face. As for nested XHTML, I would recommend looking this up on your own, but for now, I would recommend leaving this unchecked. As for your default post category, this will be the default category your post is placed in when you first create a new post. You can always change this when creating your new post. So just like in the example video of creating our first post, we added these categories. So if we wanted all the future posts that we created to by default be put into restaurant category, then we would select restaurant here. But if we want to leave it as uncategorized, we would leave that option. Next is the default post format. This will decide what the default format is for any new post you create. You can also change this when you're creating your new post. Next is press this and post via email. I'm going to include resource links to read more about press this and post via email, but for right now, these are not important for the course. Just remember that this course is going over all the basics and skip over any of the more technical stuff. Once you've watched all these videos and feel comfortable with the WordPress dashboard, then you should start looking into these additional resources. As always, once you're done changing your settings, remember to click on Save Changes. So next, let's click into our reading settings. Reading settings will determine how certain things are presented to your visitors. The first thing is talking about front page displays. So this decides what is shown on your homepage. By default, it is checked under Showing Your Latest Posts. Keep in mind that this is because WordPress is created with a blog in mind. So for example, right now, since it's showing my latest posts, if I look at my homepage of my website, it's showing that sample post we created about a restaurant review. However, if I want it to just show a static page, this would make it so that my homepage would be one static page. So my example, I'm going to select Michael's first page. So this means that my homepage will be showing a specific page every time, instead of a stream of my latest posts. So if I click on Save Changes, and then I go back up here and refresh my homepage, now it shows me the sample page that I created. It says Michael's first page. So that's the difference between front page displays for your latest posts and a static page. As for blog pages show at most, this setting decides how many posts are shown on a blog page. This makes it so it doesn't become a really long scrolling page of all your posts. As for syndication feeds show the most recent, this is if you're using syndication feeds such as RSS. This sets the number of posts people will see when they download one of your feeds. As for each article in a feed show, this again relates to the syndication feeds. This lets you choose between showing the full text of the article or content or of the post or page, or only giving a brief summary of it. And lastly, search engine visibility. This checkbox will discourage search engines from indexing the site. I would assume you want to leave this unchecked if you want visitors to find you. And so once you've decided your settings, again, you got to make sure to click on Save Changes.